Hey everyone, welcome to Dungeon Bits, and I wanted to make some short videos covering parts of my in-progress system, Sanctum, that I hope that you can get as excited about them as I am. And today we're covering character creation. You've probably seen the title of the video, so let's skip any filler and get right into the 8 step process to making a character in Sanctum. But first of all, real quick, it's worth noting that the approach to character creation can be something that you can do meticulously to find the best features to match your character idea, or you can just pick stuff at random and still get a really cool character regardless. And I bring this up because step 1, Ancestry. There are 15 ancestries that you can choose from, and you can choose which one you like best, or there's a D100 table that you can just roll on. The table arranges each ancestry alphabetically, but it also considers their rarity. Like, humans are 25%, but if you want to play a walking, talking chamber pot, then the awakened ancestry is only 2%. So, let's roll. D100, and we have 83, which is human, which I love because humans are great. In-game, not IRL, but humans in Sanctum are unique in that unlike other ancestries who have to pick up an ancestry feature, humans can pick up 4 features from the other lists instead of just 3 and choosing an ancestry feature. And picking an ancestry feature is step 2. So let's move right to step 3, which is choosing features. And you can get your features, which are basically the abilities that you get in-game, by choosing them, picking up an archetype, which guides you on what features to pick, or choose one of the 3 classes. And for the sake of the video, I'm going to choose an archetype, because I want to show you what being a warrior in this system looks like. Then I'll show you a mage of sorts afterwards with the second character. So, let's choose the Fury archetype. The Fury archetype suggests that we pick up the Berserker, Frenzy, and Relentless features. Berserker is a fantastic feature because it means when people hit us in melee, they take 1 damage, which is great because I feel like we're going to be in melee quite a bit. Frenzy means that the action point cost for attacks is reduced by 1 when we're at half HP or less, and considering that we have 6 action points per round, this is a huge help when we're taking a beating. So we're going to run in, take damage, deal damage by getting dealt damage, and then when it comes to our turn, deal out a lot of melee attacks. And the Relentless feature means that we don't suffer penalties to rolls when we're dying. So, we have a guy who automatically deals damage when they are hit, and after being hit and dealing that much damage, when they're reduced to half HP, they can do a lot more attacks. And when they have no HP, and they're staggering and bleeding out on the battlefield, they can make all those extra attacks without any penalties. Now that we've basically made Fantasy Doom Guy, let's move on to step 4 and choose our saves. And straight away, I'm going to say that we are a master with body saves, an expert with charm saves, a trained guy in gear saves, and a novice in mind saves. Done. And step 5 is skills, and so that I'm not just vomiting numbers and names at you, I'm just going to put the skills here, and you can pause it if you like to see them. And with these choices, it means we're great with heavy weapons and intimidation, but I also thought that I would give him some taming skills, since I can see him being a bit of a softie when it comes to animals. Like, he can kill people, rip and tear and destroy monsters, leaving blood all over the battlefield, but he would go through hell for an animal. Maybe a bunny. But I don't know why I picked that. Also, I put the trained die, the D8, in armor because I want to see if I can get him some light armor, because even though I work best at lower health, I don't want him to burn too bright and last 1 session. I want him to get to the final boss battle, and then make 6 attacks a turn, and then explode. Step 6 is additional proficiencies, and you can choose 2 of these from a list of musical instruments, languages, and tools, so I'm going to give him the Orcish language, because I think that it'd be cool if he grew up in a tribe of humans and orcs. And of course, I'm going to give him Cook's tools, because this guy loves to make that good old fantasy staple, tacos and sushi, and antidepressants. With step 7, I can choose whether or not I'm going to pick an Intrigue. And with this character, I'm absolutely going to. I'm going to pick the Brutish Intrigue, which says I can gain more fatigue points before dying. But I require double the amount of food per day. Double tacos sounds like a win-win. Already, I love this. I've got a guy who just screams and covers the battlefield in his and the enemy's blood. He has a bunch of features to help him be deadly, even after he's taken a bunch of hits, and because he can cook, he can whip up a meal and recover more HP quicker, and he hongy. Then we come to step 8, equipment. Now, we can choose whether or not to take the 100 gold and choose our own stuff, which you are free to do, or we can choose or roll a background kit. And I'm just going to choose this one because it's perfect. The Barbarian background kit gives me furs to stave off the cold, the light armor that I wanted, and a warhammer so I can push my enemies around the battlefield with each swipe of my hand, and pay for really expensive minis. And boom! I'm done. No big stacks of math for 20 minutes, just running through a list of options to build the character that I most desire. Now, all I need to do is run through the sneaky other option, which is choosing what I look like, and also to consult if you want help deciding their personality. And also, I'm not going to name him because if you got this far, I want you to name him in the comments. A furious barbaric guy in furs, smelling like musk and fresh garlic and thyme. Also, keen-eyed viewers will see that because I rolled a human, I get a 4th feature to choose from, and I only got 3 from my choice of archetype. So, with that 4th one, it can be anything. You don't have to follow the archetype to the letter. I could go wild with it. If I wanted to, I could give this barbaric dude a magical origin. Maybe he's connected to the earth and I have a more druidic sort of magical origin. Maybe I have some internal power, so I choose the incarnate magical origin. It's up to you. So, just for fun, let's make a very different kind of character. And let's try for a more magical character. So, step 1 is Ancestry. So let's roll our dice again. And that is... we got a Sproutling. And just to clarify, Sproutlings are basically plant or fungus guys. Let's see how many people make the fun guy joke. Every single time, I imagine. You have to, it's too perfect. It's like the butler did it. It's obvious, but it's great. Step 2 is the Ancestry feature, and since I didn't get a human, I actually get to roll on what I get. I rolled and got Mycelium, which basically gives my fungi, telepathy. So, with that, I think I know what character concept I'm going to shoot for. Step 3, I'm going to choose an archetype again, and I'm going to choose the Scion archetype for a loose approach to mentalist psionic magic. First of all, to cast magic, I need a magical origin, so we're going to choose the Mindweaver, which means I can cast spells without saying anything, moving my body, or needing a curios like a wand, staff, or skull, and just using my mind. Alongside this power, we can also pick a spell. So let's go for Seance, the ability to interrogate the dead and undead. And for the other 2 features, I'm going to pick the expanded knowledge feature, so I can pick 2 more spells and the Mindbreaker feature. With my 2 spells, I'm going to pick the Empath spell, so I can see through an entity's senses and delve into their thoughts if I wanted to push myself, and the Rot damage spell to fit the whole mushroom and kind of death aesthetic. And with the Mindbreaker feature, when I cast a spell that deals damage, like the Rot damage spell, I can change it to a special damage type called Delirium, which is special because it can't be reduced, because it's attacking not your body, but your mind. I like doing the your mind. Then steps 4 and 5 are the saves and skills. And you've seen this before with the other character, so I'm going to put my best dice into the mind saves and skills, as shown here. Step 6, I think I'm going to choose 2 languages so I can speak to more people in their Brian. Step 7, the intrigues. I think I'm going to skip it. I love them, but for the sake of variety, since I chose one for the first character, I'll skip it now. And for step 8, I'm going to choose the Investigator background kit, so I can get a good mix of equipment for someone who's a bit squishier. Now we have a fungo paranormal investigator who can fight alongside the rest of the group, while also speaking to the dead, and delving into your mind for answers before silently destroying your brain without even a single movement. 2 very different characters. Both of them I would love to play, and both of them I could see being in the same party. The diversity of parties that I can see being constructed with this system, it's just so fun to imagine. And with that, thank you for watching. I'm Ellis, and if you like this video, click the one on screen to see my video talking about the other fun aspects in Sanctum. I love you all, and I'll see you next Saturday.